Does your engine bay look like a piece of nightmare like this?
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
I'm going to try replacing and relocating the washer bottle and the washer pump because they take up the most space. So I've got this cheap one and this cheap pump. So I'm going to be replacing this big boy right here with something about half the size. So there are a few reasons why you can relocate your washer bottle. One of those is that you're trying to clean up the engine bay. As you see, it's quite cluttered. Another reason you could also be doing it is because you are trying to clear some space in this area to do some forced induction. Which forced induction do you think I'm going for? You can write down in the comments below and you'll find out in a few videos time. I was considering mounting up in the cowl like something like this, maybe with a bit more securing than no zip ties. I recommend 3 zip ties. In the engine bay here you see there's this grommet over here. I was planning to use that originally, but I found this hole. And there's a second one of these holes just over there. This hole here is big enough apparently for 2 zip ties, and therefore I can run both of them in onto the other side, and I can put this bottle in the middle between both zip ties and then loop these around to make like a harness. And with the harness I can hopefully adjust it so it can sit at a bit of an angle, so its capacity for the bottle is a bit more increased than it would be like lying flat. After re-evaluating my life choices, I found an easier method to mount the bottle. Here's the bottle, and as you see I changed how the zip tops are done. One runs through the hole and then it loops under the bottle and then up here where it meets another zip tie, and then this zip tie here goes along the top and then under this bit of rubber stripping and then just ends there. So I was going to do this because it's just easier. This is exactly how I thought it would mount up, which is perfect. So the front zip tie here, you can see is mounted over the top of the bar as well as through, which is why it gives it that angle. While the second one, it doubles back and goes through the hole, which is why, well, it sits lower, which gives it this angle, which is much easier to work with and easier to fill up. This whole setup here cost me £20 with the pump and the bottle. The Suzuki cappuccino ones, I had a research into it. They cost £60 and you need a mounting plate for that and everything. And there is one that fast rusted, which was on a Mercedes W202 rear washer bottle, and I can't seem to find one in the UK at all, and shipping them in costs £50, and I still need to get the pump and everything else, so it's much more cheaper doing this. And it doesn't look too bad, it just looks a bit jank with the zip ties, but it's better than nothing. So I've had to widen this top hole up here because the bolt that I want to use, the bolt that goes through this here, does not fit the hole in this panel here. So I've upgraded it to a bigger size so I can at least use this. The advantage of me using this side and this hole is because it's a threaded nut which has been welded to the frame. So I was going to be able to just get one screw and just sort of jam it in there, which is the right size and the right thread, so it looks a bit OEM at least. That OEM seems to matter when I have a bottle like this mounted. Remember to check on the back of the pump which way the in and out is. So because I'm going to be mounting it like this, that's the correct way around for me. So this is the in on this side and this side is the out. So the pump's been mounted with one bolt, but that should be okay because it's done very tight and it's not going anywhere. So now I need to relocate this wiring harness so it ends not here but at the new pump. So I need to disconnect this and rerun the whole thing, and I need to extend it because it's way too short. I need to extend the wiring harness quite a bit. So I've cut the original connector off here and I'm going to be plugging it into the original wiring harness over here and then run that wiring harness through the top part of the firewall all the way along to the new pump location over here. The connectors on the pump are the same as they are for the old pump, but they're actually reversed, so I can't actually use the same wiring harness, as well as I need to extend it anyways. But this plug here, if I put it the right way, fits on correctly. I just need to extend the wiring to get here, which isn't too bad. I just need to solder and use some spade connectors. the top connector here, this one up at the top, that's the positive and the bottom one is the ground. On my wiring harness, the top one is blue. Focus. The top one here is blue and the bottom one has a blue with a stripe through it. So the connector's now been widened properly with some female spade connectors. Runs through here and then runs all the way along the top to here, which is where I need to terminate it and put the new connector on that part to mount to the motor. Well, I've connected it all up here, as you can see, with the tape, and underneath the tape I just used some spade connectors to the original wiring connector and just to connect it all up. I do hope now that this is running the right way. Now I need to run some piping to connect the washer bottle to the pump to the jets that are up here. So now I need to move the piping so that the extra part coming down is not on this side, so it runs across here and then the extra part comes down here. So I just need to reverse basically everything along here, which means moving this connector, the Y connector I have over here, to here.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety filling up every space.
You definitely saw what happened on the passenger side. The whole thing just snapped. I have somehow wedged it back together. I don't know if it will last, but it's better than nothing, and I'll get a replacement whenever I can. That is, if it doesn't work. If it does, I'll leave it, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I need to now remove this. There, it looks like there is 1, 2, 3 or 4 bolts maybe, and they all look like 10 mils. They should be easy to remove.
Every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over. Damn, no closure.
Look how much space it opens up by removing it. The engine bay looks massive here now. Only the finest Halfords quality I will use on this car. Now I just need to test it on here, and I'm going to just do that from the windscreen stalk. So if it works from here, it should be good. Oh, it nearly went into my face. So that's how you move the washer bottle from here up to here. And if you want to see more videos like this, click down there where it says like and subscribe. Otherwise, that's it from me. See you in the next video.
No closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna